All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what really drives the internet's biggest players. We're talking about the world of advanced Java. So think about it for a second. The last time you added something to your online cart or maybe checked your bank balance, there's this incredibly complex, super high-speed dance of technology happening behind the scenes. What is it that's actually making all of that work so seamlessly? Well, the answer, in a ton of cases, is this collection of technologies we call advanced Java. Now, this is not your basic Hello World program you might have written in school. No. We are talking about the industrial-strength, heavy-duty tools used to build huge, enterprise-level web applications. So let's break down the key pieces, one by one. Okay, so every interaction has to start somewhere. For a web app, that starting point is your click. And the very first thing that jumps into action to respond is a super important component called a servlet. The best way to think of a servlet is like the air traffic controller for the entire application. It just sits there on the web server, waiting. Its one and only job is to catch your incoming request and figure out exactly what needs to happen next. It's really the brains of the whole operation. So let's just trace that path real quick. You click on a link to see a product. That click zips across the internet as a request and hits the server. Immediately, the servlet intercepts it, ready to go. But now it has a question. Where does it get the product's price, its description, its availability? Well, for that, it needs to talk to a database. And that brings us to our next big challenge, right? How does the application actually get all that data? The product names, the prices, all that good stuff. The answer is all about connecting to the database. You got to think about the difference here. A really simple little app on your computer might just read from a local file. Easy. But a huge web app, it needs to access a massive central database. And with all the different kinds of databases out there, we're talking Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, you name it. How in the world can our single Java application speak all of their different languages? The solution is this brilliant piece of tech called JDBC. It acts like a universal translator. See, the application doesn't need to know the specific dialect of any one database. It just speaks JDBC, and JDBC handles all the translation behind the scenes. It's one standard, unified way to get the data you need, no matter where it's stored. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so our servlet has the request, and thanks to JDBC, it now has the data. But how do we turn that raw data into a beautiful, functional web page that you can actually see and interact with? This is where JSP comes into the picture. Imagine a JSP file is kind of like a smart blueprint for a web page. It has all the normal HTML for the layout, the headers, the footers, the buttons, but it also has these special little placeholders where live data can be plugged in using Java code. And this is the absolute magic of it. You aren't getting some pre-made one-size-fits-all page. Nope. The server takes the live data, your specific username, what's in your shopping cart, and it literally builds a custom HTML page just for you, right there on the spot. So we've seen the three core pieces: servlets to handle requests, JDBC to get the data, and JSP to build the page. Now let's put it all together. Let's see the entire process from start to finish. And here it is, the whole journey, all happening in a blink of an eye. 1, you click. 2, the servlet catches that request. 3, JDBC zips off and grabs the data from the database. 4, JSP uses that data to build your custom page. And 5, boom, the finished page is sent back as a response to your browser. It's like a perfectly coordinated high-speed assembly line for information. So when you zoom out from these individual technologies, you start to see the bigger picture, what makes this whole stack of tools so incredibly powerful for businesses. Ultimately, the most important thing to get is that this combination of tools is the very bedrock for massive mission-critical applications, the kind of systems that global companies literally cannot function without. So why is it so trusted? Well, it really just boils down to three main things. First, scalability. It can handle millions of users on a shopping site without even breaking a sweat. Second, robustness. It helps build the rock-solid secure systems that a banking portal absolutely has to have. And third, interoperability. It can connect to almost any other system or database out there, just like we saw with JDBC. So there you have it. That's how a simple click transforms into a completely custom web page. You now know the fundamental building blocks, servlets, JDBC, and JSP that power so much of the web we use every single day. So the real question is, now that you know how it all works, what could you build with it? Thanks for tuning in.